Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Blues 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Blues 1975.
This is Operation Thunderbolt on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, because I'm continuing my look at some of Ocean's best games. This was released by Ocean in 1989. It was also released on the Commodore, the Amstrad, the Amiga and the Atari ST, and got really good reviews across all ports. There is a SNES version that was not done by Ocean but done by Taito themselves that was released in 1994. I have a gameplay of that too. So obviously this is the sequel to Operation Wolf, which was released in 87 by Taito and hugely successful, one of their biggest hits, and it made them so much money that it was a no-brainer that they were going to release a sequel. Also a no-brainer was they were going to have to one-up the original arcade machine. So how did they do that and also make more money? It was two-player. So this time around it had positional controllers and not light guns. All the modern arcade games you look at, such as The Walking Dead, Transformers, modern-ish light gun games, they're all analog joysticks, they're not light guns. I don't know if this was the start of that, but yeah. So they're not light guns, and also they're Mac 10s, not Uzis, because obviously two Uzis would be absolutely huge. Once again, I saw that in the arcade. I saw Operation Warfare, my favourite arcade of my childhood, and I loved it, and I was shit at it. It was more, well, of course I was. That's the whole point of these games. They're supposed to put the kids through school, or the people who own the arcades. But didn't stop me loving it. So it's more of the same in the sense that you have to rescue hostages. However, it mixes things up with not just scrolling from left to right or right to left. There are scrolling into the you know, screen levels, you know, using sprite scaling technology. That was always going to make it. It's a 128K version, so, and it's a tap file, so all the levels load in at once, which means it was a multi-loader on the 48K, which was a proper pain in the ass. I played this, I got a demo of this on some magazine, I want to say Sinclair User, which was the first level, which is brutal. There are two inherent problems with this, but you could argue that they were down to the arcade itself. Hello. Use T, Y and U to pause on a two joystick game player. One uses define key. Yeah, right. Go with one. Or hello. Lovely AY chip. Goodness. But yeah, so it was going to struggle, the Spectrum, at doing the into the screen stages. It does them remarkably well for what a Spectrum is, but I make no bones in saying that I prefer Operation Wolf on the Spectrum. That's not to say that this isn't a good game. Many people prefer this, and it's not to say that this isn't a very, very impressive port with the hardware that it's working on. I'll shut up so you can listen to this, because that is a very good rendition of the arcade music. Right, so we will define our keys. By the way, in 1989, which I am aware is a year after this came out, and in America, wasn't it like the second or third most successful arcade machine that year? So obviously it did rather well. Shame about the sequel to this. Define keys. Excuse me. Preparing for war gives me a gacky throat. Up, Q up, A down, O left, P right, M fire, keys are champions, Z rockets. You have rocket grenades as well. We don't have pause, which is a bit, yeah, seriously, no pause in a game that is this brutal. Or maybe I want to take a break. Oh right, that doesn't matter because you have to press fire on the other joystick. So let's get into this. Right, in the bottom of the screen, 4. 1 player starts, 5, 2 player start. Let's go. Monochromic, obviously, as you would expect. Operation initiated, rescue all hostages. Bottom of the screen is divided up into a much simpler HUD. On the left you see the stuff you shot, the bullets you've got, the mags, the grenades. On the right it's empty because that would be your assistant, your lovely assistant, Guff. Right, got a rocket grenade. Right, it's brutal. Stuff falls from the top of the screen as it did in the original one. You want to get as much of that as you can. Grenades. Elephant in the room problem, right? One, it clearly has the same number of people coming at you. I mean, it's nice graphics. It's limited for going into the screen, but again, it's the Spectrum. and there's so much stuff going on, so that is impressive. Danger, I'm about to die already. That's probably because I've been ignoring the helicopters. Fire. Right, there we go. Right, so yeah, clearly this is how many people on a screen it should be if it was 2-player. You're not always going to have the luxury of having a friend. Maybe you're a lonely child. Maybe you're an only child. Christmas is better in your house though, eh? So it's a bit, well, it's not just overkill, it's fucking nuclear kill. Right, the other thing is, now this happened in the first game, I think, in the arcade, which kind of works in the arcade. If I let go of fire, right, look, where's my crosshair? I can't see my crosshair. Oh, no, I can. Oh, that's my bad. It's because it's so small and the same colour as the background. I thought I didn't have one. So I don't have to keep firing, although I will say, if you keep firing, it's easier to keep track of where your crosshair is. And the minute you stop firing, it completely disappears in the crowd. Well, let's be honest. Who said war wasn't going to be crowded? Lucky I'm a Green Beret, or this would be shit town. I can't remember the names of the blokes, but they're suitably Green Beret-ish. Right. So anyway, we're going into the screen. I've just destroyed 1/3 of the entire world's armies. But the next stage goes from right to left, hopefully, and there are stages when you're on boats and stuff like that. I mean, it's good. It's an impressive, competent port. The fact that it doesn't address, you know, how many, you know, people are on screen for 1 or 2 players is a proper pain in the ass, because you're only going to get a certain number of continues. So why is shooting hell such a pain in the ass? But you could also argue then it probably doesn't do that in the arcade, because it's not there to hold your hand, it's there to make a lot of money. Whether or not there were, you know, switches in the actual machine itself. This is a totally long level, which would let you ease the difficulty, I don't know. So possibly, a bit late for me to say this, but Ocean, couldn't you have given us some difficulty settings? I don't know, because $7.95 was a lot of money. I'd like to see the end of the game. If I could never get off level 1, then I didn't really need to buy the game. I could have just kept my 1-player level cover tape. I don't know whether I'm even shooting any of these things, because I don't want to look down to see if my, you know, how long is this fucking level? I'm halfway through Europe now. Yeah, I don't want to look down to see if my stats, you know, or itinerary, if you will, is going up. Oh, I think I got that hell. This is a bit, okay, I can't remember how long the level is. I'm out of ammunition. Really? I've made the level though. I can't remember how long the level is in the arcade, but that's totally too long. Make contact with intelligence agent and obtained information. Maybe obtain some bullets. Look at my hit rate, 15%. I must have shot half of the world. I do like the music in this. Mission 2. Confiscate ammunitions and means of transportation. So basically, where's my crosshair? Shoot them and their cars. Did it? It carried me over with no ammunition. Jesus Christ. See, now this is more akin to the first game, but once again, there are too many people on the screen. Look at them coming out the windows. Coming out the goddamn walls. Point to the quote. It's an easy one. See, it's impressive. It's very impressive for just how much is going on. A little too fast for the scrolling. Operation Wolf was a bit too tits quick, but this is... I dope test this, is what I'm saying. I definitely dope test this. Can't shoot... There's just too much. There's too much for one person. Part of me really wants to play this 2-player now to see if it's even doable. 2-player. Does it, you know, does it really make it? I can imagine that your crosshairs are going to get lost together, entangled, if you will. Again, though, I mean, I liked it as a kid. I think Dean's right. The arcade machine and this are trying a little too hard. Maybe keep the 2-player option, but keep it more in line with Operation. That was Dean Swing, by the way. Left a comment. Great bloke. Yeah. Maybe keep it more in line with Operation Wolf, so it's still just got the side-scrolling stages. I'm talking about the arcade, you know. And lay back on the guys. Seriously, I know you're an arcade, but yeah. I swear my grenades do nothing against people. Oh, I really am having to try to get as much, you know. Oh, it gives me health now after I've respawned. Much ammunition as I can, because I don't want to run out again, because you get literally one shot every 2 seconds. It's not really good for a war situation, is it? Why am I not even getting... I don't think I've got rocket grenades. Anyway, in case I forgot to tell, in case you didn't realise, my score top left, 2-player score, if he was in here, I really wish he or she was top right. This is, so again, very impressive. I can see why it commanded the reviews it did. We would have played the shit out of it back in the day. What's that? Is that a different gun that I clearly didn't get? But as an adult, a cynical, look at me, look at that. Okay, that was satisfying. A cynical adult, much shorter than the first level. I'm calling out its faults. I am aware of that. Wouldn't have known how to do this. Raid successful, got ammunition jeeps back in the day. Oh, we're moving now. Yeah, check it out, we're mobile. That's Metallica quote, because you were never getting that one from a year and a half in the life of Metallica. Oh, holy shit. So yeah, from a technical perspective, it's way more impressive than Operation Wolf. I'm talking about the spectrum here. From a gameplay perspective and a fun level, it's completely lacking. I mean, I've used how many continues? I wonder if I got infinite continues to get here. On the Operation Wolf, once I understood that you are firing automatically, it didn't look that way on the screen. I'm pretty sure I could get to level 4 or 5, you know, on one knife. But, you know, it's doing an admirable job. I have no idea what the Amiga and Atari ST versions are like. My brother never had them. Oh, I know the SNES version changes stuff and mixes things up. I think it was compatible with the world's stupidest light gun, because we want a light gun that sits on your shoulder like a bazooka. That's not going to cause issues, is it? In accuracy, in aiming, and stuff like that. And he misses the health, which he doesn't need, because the game should have given it to me before I died. Also, why aren't these jeeps ploughing through everyone? I really... Who wants to come around my house and play this 2-player? I really want to see... Oh, there's a cat. Yeah, you shoot cats and shit. And they give you extra lives and stuff. I'm sure they were around back in the day. Peter would have had a fit. And the entire fucking woke brigade. Can't do that in a game. People might do it in real life. Don't own a Mac 10 in real life, woke brigade. So I think your cats are safe. Oh, and most people like animals. Right. I know, random tangent. Why? I don't know. I'm not saying cats are the smartest creatures in the world, but clearly you'd run the other way, wouldn't you? So yeah, summing up, impressive, very, very impressive. I don't think we've encountered any slowdown whatsoever yet. Definitely a bit too much. Again, I can't comment with 2 players, although I can think that you might get each other's way, but certainly not as fun as the original. A bit too much going on. So anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you played this in the arcade back in the day, any of the home ports, even the Super NES, SNES for our American friends, all 2 of you that are watching this video. And yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. How come my hands are cramping up and I've got auto fire? First world problems. Oh look, there you go. Hey, that was a decent amount of continues though, I will say that. So anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.